The Gentlementor.
It's not about a nationality. It's about power and control. Same thing it has been since the inception of humanity. Power and control.
Hmm. So where does the real power and control lie?
Power and control over what?
Over humanity. Isn't that what we want?
Well, the only real power that exists is God.
Okay, I would agree.
Everything else is like a twisted bastardization.
Right, everything's a perversion.
Yeah. And so Satan gains his foothold for power by usurping our dominion. I mean, well, he didn't usurp it, he stole it. He swindled us out of it. We had dominion here. That's what God gave us. That's after creation. He gave man and woman dominion over the animals and the plants and everything and said, here, this is all yours. Be fruitful and multiply. And Satan comes in and goes, God's lying. He says, you'll die if you know the truth, but the truth won't kill you. The truth will make you live long. You'll understand. You'll see the way he sees and understand the way he'll understand things. And so we went, oh, cool. Let's have that. And bingo, bango, we turned over ownership. We turned over dominion to Satan. That's why Jesus says, this isn't my world. I don't rule this. This is Satan's world. That's why we can't understand why bad things happen to good people here, because it's a bad place. Not because it's
I thought we've already figured that out.
We can. Some of we can't. And by we, I mean humanity. Yeah.
It's because there's no God. That's why, right?
Well, not because there's no God, but because he's...
And so I have got this book laying on my desk, and it made me want to read this quote, because you're always talking about how I read ridiculous quotes out of books.
I never said ridiculous.
And I want to read it right. I could say it, but I don't know. I'm afraid I would get it wrong.
Read it right.
I want to read it
I know,
right.
I wouldn't do it either. I told you how bad I am about quoting things.
Okay, here we go. A couple more pages, and then I'm going to say it. As I start to say it slowly, maybe it will come up.
He'll flip
That
up,
the original
flip the
sin,
page.
that the original sin that Adam committed was not eating the fruit. It was the lack of not putting up a fight.
Hang on. The lack of not putting up a
Or
fight?
not putting up a fight. The original sin was not eating of the fruit. It was not putting up a fight. That was the original sin.
Something like that.
And that goes back to what you were saying a moment ago about power. Satan usurping our power, but yet we don't put up a fight.
Right.
Adam's original sin, found it. Page 92, Mark Batterson, play the man. Adam's original sin wasn't eating the forbidden fruit. It was not putting up a fight. See, there, I had it almost right there.
It's probably semantics. I don't know that Adam needed to put up a fight. Adam didn't use any kind of discernment. He didn't use any kind of resistance. He got swindled. He got lied to. He got cheated.
By his woman?
With the help of. I wouldn't say by. And I'm not saying he doesn't have responsibility for what he did, but he basically sold out. It wasn't, man, I don't think he even got close enough to it to fight. I don't think he ever saw what it was.
Really?
Just like I don't think people see what it is today. I don't think it's got anything to do with the fruit. I think it's all about what that fruit represents. And that fruit is forbidden knowledge.
Right.
And what that deal represents is a lack of trust in God.
In God.
And
right.
there's nothing, and I'll say this strong, there's nothing more offensive to God
than not trusting him.
Because you are doubting him. You are not faithing him. And faith pleases God. So what must the opposite of faith do? Well, that which is not faith is sin, isn't it? And so the fight wasn't the problem with Adam.
It was the faith.
It was the lack of faith. It was being pie-eyed about forbidden knowledge. Ooh. And completely forgetting that he had just been walking with God in the garden the day before. That's how humans are. That's exactly how we are, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it is.
And how many times does the Bible show us that example?
Is that because of sin? Is that because of the fall of man?
That happened before the fall. The fall doesn't come until the sellout.
but his
It's
lack
it's it's that
of
grass is
pie-eyed,
it's that grass is always greener thing that we have.
right? Or was it peer pressure from the woman?
Nope.
If Adam had said,
That's
"Oh,
that's what he tried. Oh, this woman you gave me.
this woman," naturally, that's what he says. But if Adam,
We're all
what
responsible.
would be the different situation, if any? What would be the different situation if Adam had said, hold on a moment, woman, we can't eat that. I'm not eating that. Put that down." What would be the difference of the situation that we're in right now? Would it be any different?
There's a great line in a Kanye West song.
Oh man,
He tells his story
who can
exactly,
blame Kanye West with the
almost
scriptures
almost exactly
besides
as you
Kanye
just said.
himself?
And what if he said, "Baby, let's put this back on the tree because we have everything we need."
What if? Okay,
Yeah. What if?
okay. And
Fellowship might not have been broken.
what did Kanye
He doesn't have an
derive
answer.
from that?
He
He doesn't have an
doesn't.
answer.
No, he doesn't have an answer.
The heck am I here for then? If Kanye doesn't know the answer,
Kanye's not here. It's me quoting Kanye.
I know, but
Almost
I
as
mean,
good.
and we're gonna quote Kanye over the next 2,000
I
years.
love that line. I love that line because I think that says it so clear. I think that puts a bullseye on it.
The fellowship would
It's
not have been
because
broken if he said, "Well, let's
God
put this."
provides everything we need.
Right.
Our trouble almost always starts when that's not enough.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what everything is. That's
Yes.
what it is when I got to have 6 jobs and I got to wear myself out and I ain't got time for church anymore or anything that has anything to do with God because I'm too busy trying to get me mine. And the reason I'm trying to get me mine is because what I already got that God's providing ain't enough. So my very action in promoting myself and trying to acquire wealth is at the same time going like this to God. You're not giving me enough. I have to go do it myself.
I feel like we're gonna have to take up an offering here shortly.
Make sure it's pourable. We prefer liquid offering.
Liquid offerings.
Ooh, that's going to be the name of my next worship album. Liquid offering.
Liquid offerings. That's actually really good.
It is, and yet the image in my mind of like this yellow flowing liquid is like supposed to be like all golden and stuff, and then I'm like, wait, that's urine. That's
Yeah.
pee. That's pee pee.
Yeah.
That is pee pee. There was
That's
a whole thing that happened in my head, but yeah, that's the whole game we play.
It is.
You're not enough for me, God. You're not enough. And
Well, and I think
everything we say and do just
I think it
repeats.
starts. Even it starts. Well, and I want to say it starts before that. It continues into every other area of my life.
It's so subversive.
Yes.
It's so sneaky.
Oh, suddenly my wife is not enough for me.
Oh.
Suddenly my children are not enough for me. Suddenly the images I'm looking on my computer, they're not enough either.
And it's not the this isn't enough for me conversation that we have to watch out. If we were watching out for that, we'd catch it. What we don't see is how we start to tell different stories about the situation that allow us to come up with different reasons and excuses and rationalizations for why
Okay,
that's
so what
okay.
stories do we tell ourselves?
Well, let's here's you started with my wife. Not my wife.
No. I did.
It sounded terrible.
Whoa, I didn't
Take
start
my
anything
wife,
with your
please. You
didn't
started
start
with the wife. Let's use that's a great easy example because what usually happens, what my experience has been dealing with friends of mine who have had issues with, say, the A word, adultery. It's
was not the A word, though.
here's a common conversation. I'll try to make this generic as possible because I have lots of different people using lots of different words. Well, I feel bad about it, and I'm not saying she's responsible, but whatever follows but is the rationalization for why it was justifiable, excusable, kind of okay for me to cross the line.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She isn't giving me XYZ.
Right.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
If you can think of something she's not doing, eventually you probably work that into an excuse to go find that thing somewhere else.
Right. Because the word "but" says forget everything that came right before it, and this is what matters to me.
Think
Only
of
my butt.
phrases like, "Well, yeah,
That's
but
probably what gets men in trouble.
we're just friends on Facebook. There's nothing going on. We just like to hang out together and talk."
Yeah. But
Kiddoke. I don't know, man. You know me. You know who I am. I have so many people come to me and they want to do this little litigation game like this. Hey, let me ask you a question. I love when conversations start with, "Hey, let me ask you a question."
Let me ask you a question.
Let me throw out a few loopholes that I think I can use to get around God, and let's see what you think of them. So
And your response
here's
usually is?
here's a hypothetical situation. My response is usually to laugh. So I'm like, you're not catching me up in this game.
So I guess the question is, do they come back to you with a second time?
Not generally.
Nah, okay.
I'm a pretty
Good for
solid
you.
I'm a pretty solid
you.
shutdown guy. So
Good for you, because then they realize, I'm not getting anywhere with this.
generally,
He's not helping me justify my causes.
if I deliver a shutdown, yeah, people are reticent to return with
Yeah.
with that topic
Yeah.
or similar topics. It's still, we'll still be friends, but yeah, I don't do a lot of repeat business in that forum. But yeah, and that's what they want. They want like a buddy system. Like, here, you justify me, and I'll justify you. And it's like I didn't get that because like I don't want anybody to justify me. I don't want anybody to lie to me.
Yeah.
Truth is painful and difficult, but what comes without it is much worse. And I'd rather
Yes.
have the difficult truth. I'd
Right.
rather just hear it.
Right.
And so I'm not looking anybody to play that game with me. I'm looking for friends that do the opposite and tell me the truth. So I was surprised and shocked after dealing with people probably in the range of my own maturity level and age doing stuff like this. What shocked me was a couple years ago finding a group of 3 guys, 2 of them in their 70s, one the same age as me, all with multiple degrees, most of them theological, all of them pastors, 2 of them currently and 1 of them in the past, who basically have set up their own little home, what do you want to call it? Do it yourself justification rationalization society.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them comes up with something he shouldn't be doing, and he gets together with the other 2. And for all I know, these guys are saying we're accountability partners. That would break my heart, because then I would just want to go karate chop them. But what they are doing is basically sit around with each other discussing the things they're doing wrong and coming up with justifications for it to be all right. Never like, oh, yeah, you're right, that is wrong. You should stop doing that. Let's come up with some strategies. But, ooh, I don't think that's as bad. That's not that bad. That's okay, because so-and-so did such and such, and back over here somebody did a thing, and there was a guy once who did this. And they're like offering each other this kind of like, what was the thing they used to sell before the Protestant Reformation?
Penance?
Indulgences.
Indulgence.
It's like they're, got a little sketch pad, okay, a little prescription pad, and they're writing out little indulgences for each other, approving of one another's sin and saying it's okay. You go ahead and do what you're doing. Fully adult, mature, Christian human beings.
That's what we want.
We do, but we don't want them to sit around and lie to each other.
Well,
Yeah, that part was all good. If it
Yeah.
was an accountability circle and someone was in there going, no, you shouldn't do it. But when I hear conversations, or used to, I don't anymore. When I used to hear conversations coming out of this circle of people, it was inevitably 2 people telling the other guy that what he's doing is all right. And I'm sitting there going, that ain't all right. Why are you guys telling him that? I didn't say that because they're not inviting me into this conversation. They're just telling me about it. We're all like proud about how they're, we're just, we're encouraging each other. I'm like, encouragement, good. Encouragement to do bad things, not good.
enablement, not good.
Yeah.
I feel like though that's I don't know. I just said that already. That's what we want. We
What?
want people to enable us. We want people
Well, sure.
to help us rationalize the things that we think is okay for us to do.
And I think if you could strip it down so there were no personalities and you
And
could
we
look,
find people.
you look at the mechanisms of our relationship.
Yeah.
you'll see that what's at the heart of it is something completely different. I really think that probably something like 95% of humanity are looking for that other thing.
Yeah.
That rationalizing, enabling, you feel good, I feel good, codependency.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's I saw a meme earlier. There's no truth more difficult to tell a person than the one he thinks he already knows.
R-E. I'm trying to think. This could be a good acronym.
Uh-oh.
REJS. Rationalization Enabling Justification Society. I'm trying to put it in the right. Society of Rational Justification. No. SREJ.
It's almost Surge. Could we make it Surge?
Sergio.
SERJ.
SER. There we go.
Society of Enabling, Rationalizing,
Justifications.
Justifiers.
Justifiers.
Justifying jerk faces. We'll go double J.
Sejurger. Interesting.
It's all games we play because we don't want to look at the truth. If we looked at the truth, the games would be over. We fix things and think life would actually go on and get better. We fear that, so we stay in the lies.
Are we so duped though in thinking that this is what we need, is this drama in the moment to thrive on?
No.
Oh, okay.
And none of it's drama. But it's all subconscious. It's subversive. It's not something that we're consciously
Right.
going, oh, I need drama and I need this. Most people, if you ask them, will say, I hate all the drama, blah, 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 blah. But is one of my favorite adages is like, I'll listen to you talk for a long time, but then I'm going to watch what you're doing even longer. And what you do is going to tell me more about you than what you say. And
Okay.
if you tell me you hate drama and you hate all this, but everything you do seems to encourage it,
Mm-hmm.
then I may not say it to your face, but internally I'm thinking I think is a BS. I think this is a lie. Lies here we go. Lies are comfortable. Lies support our continued comfort in our same old place, circling around the same toilet.
Right, but as we know, lies just they provoke, what's the word I'm looking for? They use in scripture. Beget. They beget
Ooh,
more lies.
that is for a season.
And so if
There's
we
a season of
sacrifice-
begetting.
if we sacrifice integrity, we have to continue to sacrifice integrity to keep the lie alive. And that's just so much work.
Yeah,
Why?
it's exhausting.
Why?
And people are
It's
exhausted.
yes.
Why are people always so tired and so exhausted and worn out and frustrated? That's it.
Are we also
We
trying to
pack
keep
around-
alive? Are we trying to keep alive the lies that other people tell us?
We need
and
'em.
we're trying to.
We need 'em.
We're trying to. Oh, this is what they said in the news media. We go
That's
back. I hate
that's
going back to that and making
no.
it
That's
not
what
as spiritual,
codependency
but-
is.
Right. We make that more real. In order for that to be real, I have to talk bad about this particular president.
Think
I
of
have
it
to,
now. 30,000-foot view.
Okay, let's go.
Transsexualism, homosexuality.
Okay.
These are all mechanisms to encourage the same. The entire reason that we have to remove homosexuality from abnormal psychology is to normalize it, which seems obvious, but normalization is the goal.
Right.
And what we're doing is saying, look, truth and reality don't matter. What matters is the version of truth and reality that you choose to believe. It's so important that we are going to compel other people to use forms of speech and to say things that they know are completely fantasy, fallacy,
Garbage. Yeah.
made up,
Rubbish.
fabricated. We're going to force them to say that and to say those things and to treat your fantasy as if it's reality so that you feel justified and comfortable living your lie. Welcome to postmodernism. We're going to force you to take part in other people's lies so that they don't become uncomfortable. That's
Yes.
why less than 1% of the population was the basis for us trying to turn all bathrooms into free range areas where men can go where they want and women can go where they want. Well, some people out there don't feel like they're in the right bathroom. Bummer. That doesn't make it incumbent on the rest of society to give up their right to have privacy in the bathroom
Yeah, that's true.
for that less than 1%.
There are more people that feel like they're in the wrong restaurant.
I feel like I'm on the wrong freaking planet, baby.
Wow. All right. So what happened? So the goal here is for us to normalize everything.
Not everything. We do not want to normalize. There are things
Well,
we want. There are things we want to demonize
Well, naturally,
and cast out. There are things we want to cancel.
At what point do we have normalized so much stuff that we now have to make normalization not normal?
You are here.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
What? We're here already.
You have
European
European countries. I think it was France this last week made an announcement that U.S. culture is starting to deteriorate the cultural values of France.
No way.
You are here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Since okay,
let's back up we have made rational,
let's look at
logic,
the history of
sensible
France.
things, and we've turned them into nonsense.
Right.
And then we've taken a bunch of nonsense stuff and we've said these are the facts that you have to abide by. Dr. Fauci won $1 million award today for defending science.
Well, great.
How
against what?
You've known me for years. You can vouch for it. I've been wrong at least as much as he has.
Probably.
How can I not get $1 million too? I've defended some stupid stuff in some stupid ways and said things that weren't true at all. Why can't I have $1 million? Why can't
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Doug. Because you can't normalize wrong.
I'll give
That's
it a shot.
why.
$1 million, I'll give it a shot.
Nope. Nope. You don't have it within you to normalize wrong. I don't have it within me to normalize wrong. We can commit wrongs, yes, but we can't normalize that.
Yeah, I can't look at you after I do something wrong and go, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because yeah, okay, we're a woke nation. I'm woke spiritually. I can't normalize wrong.
You're the wokest.
I'm the wokest of the wokes.
And that's what we've been experiencing for the last 10 years.
What did he defend? What did he defend science against?
What did he do
to save? What did he do?
First he said no mask. Then he said 2 masks. Then he said no. Then he said a mask. Then he said 2 masks. Then he said maybe 3 masks. And he said masks probably won't help. He said we need a vaccine, but the vaccine probably won't do any good, so we'll still have to wear the masks. He said we have to do social distancing and wash our hands so we can flatten the curve, but we still weren't allowed to get together and do anything even after that because it didn't flatten nothing.
Yeah. Why do I still have a mask if I tested positive already?
I had the big conversation with Andy on Friday, and he's still.
If I get the vaccine, does that mean I don't have to wear a mask?
No, you still have to wear a mask. You're still not immune. Even the vaccine.
Why the hell am I going to get the vaccine?
That's what Andy was saying. I got to get my vaccine last week.
Why?
I got to get it again.
In benefit of taking the vaccine.
Yeah, in like 6 months I'll have to take it again. I'm like,
no.
And I told him, like I tell everybody, I'm like, dude, the longer this goes on, the longer it just seems like a farce. Nobody knows anything. Nobody's in control of anything. The authorities don't have any facts. It's just an ongoing, drawn-out power grab.
Man, if we could just grab a hold of those words you just said, nobody knows anything.
There are no experts.
I tell you what, I'm an expert.
I'm an expert at what I'm an expert at.
I'm an expert at this. I know there are no experts.
The longer I'm alive, the more I'm convinced that's the only purpose of the internet.
Is to prove
a
that
platform.
We don't have any experts?
It's a platform for people to go and declare their expertise in nothing. Everyone on the internet is an automatic expert in their own eyes.
Oh man, that's pretty tough.
That's what I told JD when he was on. Like that's what I found in my first week at Gab, and I like Gab, but it is what it is. It's social media.
Mm-hmm. You found that you're not an expert?
No, just that
there's no experts out there.
No, that everybody is an expert. They
thinks they're an expert.
It encourages me to trust myself a little bit more.
Ah, see, that's what we need.
That I think we need.
We
I
need
think we need to
people
learn
to
to
just
trust
trust
her.
themselves. Yeah. And to be okay with not being an expert. And to be
Once you,
okay
yeah,
and to be okay with my experience.
yeah,
And
once
let me
you
share my experience. And if you can glean something off of it, fantastic.
once you accept that there are no experts, yeah, everything gets easier because you quit looking for somebody else to come tell you what to do,
Right. Right.
which is a huge cause of not disease, but dis-ease mentally and
Dis-ease
frustration
mentally.
in life is waiting, hoping someone's going to come along and give you the clue, give you the tip, give you
Right.
that
Right.
piece of advice you need. Nobody's coming.
No. And the only reason that these people that have something to say about a particular topic that seem to or perceive to the rest of us to be experts is because they thought about it longer. They actually took some time to sit and think about it. We're all too busy. They get paid to sit and think. We're all too busy actually trying to keep the lights on.
I think mostly they just have an opportunity to parlay what they can say in exchange
Right.
for power or wealth or both.
Well, and I think for all the thinkers out there who can put things in terms that we can grab hold of and go, "Oh, okay. They're worth their wages. Whatever they make, fine. If I buy their books and it causes me to help think closer to, I don't know, something that will help me change other people and benefit mankind, yeah, okay, you deserve the $2 that you made off the book that I bought
Sure.
for 19.99. Okay, I'm good with that.
The Gentlementor.